What is up, guys? How y'all doing today? Welcome back to the channel for another episode of Retro Reviews. So as you can see, we're in the middle of a super rent boost as of the recording of this video, right? So that's where twice a month, everybody, regardless of your tier, where you're at, your tier ranking, everybody gets a 50 times super rent boost, right? And it goes for runs for 32 hours, so it's pretty cool. That's really your best money making time, is when that SRB, as we call it for short, is going on, because you can really watch the money, your rent. You can really watch your rent increase throughout the day, right? During when that's going on. But anyways, that's not what we're talking about today. Today is how I became mayor, and basically how I became the mayor, then lost it, then got it back, right? So let's just get off of this screen for now. I still got 3 hours left on my boost, so I still got plenty of time. So yeah, here we are, just another kind of it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, right, of Atlas Earth. Just hanging out and chilling out here. But yeah, so let's talk about it. When I started playing Atlas Earth, right, I joined it because it's like, okay, I wanted to give it a chance. They said you could make money, by buying digital parcels of land. Okay, so it's like, all right, let's check it out and see what it's all about. I mean, I'm skeptical, but I'm also optimistic at the same time. I believe in giving people a fair chance. I don't try to judge a book by its cover or this or that. But what I was going to do, it's like, all right, I'll check it out. I'll give it a fair chance. But one thing I was sure I was going to do was I was not going to invest any money into the game up front. It's like, I'm gonna, because I did my research and went on the investigation. It's like, okay, from what I was able to find out, you could play for free. There was no obligation to purchase anything, although there is options to do so if you want to do that, right? You can basically, if people got money to burn, yeah, sure, they can just basically buy their way and wait for a return on an investment, Otherwise, if you're going to go the free play route like I did, you're going to have to grind, right? You're going to have to work for it. You're going to have to earn it, right? You're going to have to put some time and effort into it, which I did. So what I did was I was like, I'm going to start out free to play. I'm just going to do what I can for free, earn Atlas bucks any which way I can, and I'm just going to grind and, work and earn my way throughout the, at least for the first month or two, which was what I did. So I made $50 in rent off of my parcels before I invested any money. It's like, so I felt good about it. After I made $50 and I actually, cashed out, withdrew it, and had access to the funds, it hit my bank or hit my PayPal, and when I seen that money, that tangible, it was mine, I could go do it. I was like, all right, this is real, this is legit. So I didn't spend any money until after that. I, seen it for myself. All right, so let's talk about the mayorship. So yeah, so as you may or may not know, depending on how familiar you are with Atlas Earth, you can become the mayor of your town, the governor of your state, or the president or premier of your country, simply if you own the most parcels in that area, in those areas. Okay, so again, the whales, as they call them, with money to burn, they're like, your governors of your state, your presidents. I will never get there. an act of God would have to happen for me for that to happen for me. But anyways, I was like, but the mayorship, that was attainable. I could picture myself doing that. It's like, okay, so I will show a screenshot I took of the mayor at the time when I started playing, right? So I'll put that picture right about here. So as you can see from that picture, I was chasing that guy for a long time, you know, that Riles. I remember taking several screenshots. It's like I'm just kind of documenting my progress there. But yeah, he was the mayor when I started Atlas Earth, right? So I was chasing that guy for 6 months. No kidding. Because like I said, I started out free to play, and you know, and he was sitting there parked at 146 parcels, right? I thought that was kind of weird. I was like, all right, you know, because I figured he'd be at 150. That's the first tier. But then I looked at his profile. He was already above 150. He had parcels in other areas, right? So he had 146 in my town. So here's what happened. I like I said, I grinded my way, you know, watching ads every 20 minutes for 2 Atlas bucks, playing arcade games, doing surveys, participating in the AMP program, you know, basically doing anything I could that, you know, didn't cost me any out-of-pocket money, because I was not just going to purchase Atlas bucks. I just was not going to do that. If I could earn it those other ways, that's what I was doing. So yeah, so what happened was he was at 146, and at the time, you know, like you could only see like who the mayor was. Like there was no leaderboard like there is now. So I kind of snuck up on him, and what I did was I got to 146 and tied him, and then I just laid down 4 parcels and got to 150, because I was going to do the tier jumping, right? And maybe I can explain it in another video, but basically the tier jumping is once you get to 150, a lot of people, you know, they stop because your boost rate actually goes down if you go above 150. So if I would buy 1 more parcel and go to 151, my boost rate would drop from 30 times to 20. So that's kind of like, you know, I was going to try to do a tier jump and hold off right there at 150, right? So I became the mayor when I bought those 4 parcels of land. I passed him and I got to 150, and he was at 146. Well, he had some Atlas bucks in his pocket, right? And I was only the mayor for like 24 hours, and he took it back from me. But again, I was holding there at 150 because I wasn't going to jump tier at the time, because at that time I wanted to work on badges and stuff, right? I wanted to fill in my my passport badge. So that's kind of what I did. You know, I just kept grinding, right? It's like, and worked on my badges, and what I did was I did get to the top, my top badge level, and like I said, that took me about 6 months to fill in my passport badges, right, to get to level 5. So he retained the mayorship, you know, during that time. So what happened was once I got my passport badges maxed out, so I'm like, all right, now it's on. You know, I was just kind of mentally thinking, it's like, you know, basically, you know, my thoughts towards that previous mayor. It's like, all right, buddy, now it's on. I got my passport badge maxed out. So now I'm on to buying parcels. And this person, this Riles, from what I can see, they're a free to play player. Okay. Because based on their activity, their the number of parcels they buy, they look like a free to play player to me. So once they took the mayorship back from me, and within 24 hours, they I was at 150, right? So they passed me, and I was like, well, have at it, because I'm going to work on badges. So he went to 163 parcels. That's what he got up to. So what happened was I was still grinding, right? And I was still, working my way back up to tie him again. So, and I did that. I basically tied him, and then I saved up, because he was at 163, and so we're both at 163. So I bought 4 parcels to go to 167. All right, and he did have a few 100 Atlas bucks in his pocket. He did fight back, because I went to 167. He immediately bought 3 and went to 166. He was within 1 of me, right? So it was at that point, with just 1 parcel separating us. I'm at 167 and he was at 166. It was at that point when I joined the Explorers Club and started doing the premier challenges. After that, that's when I basically hit the throttle and kept it full throttle and left him in the dust, right? Because since then, let's just go to the leaderboard now so you can see. Yeah. So since then, I was at 167, he was at 166. So now you see where we're at now. I'm at 516 and he's at 206. So I basically left him in the dust. I did the napkin math there, and since then I bought 349 to his 40. So I went on a 349 to 40 run there. Pretty good, right? So that was in September of last year. September of 2024 is when I became the mayor the second time, and I've kept it since then, right? So knock on wood here, I've retained the mayorship for 8 months now. So yeah, as you can see there, as of right now, I have a 310 parcel lead on the guy. So a lot of people would probably say that's a comfortable lead, but at the same time, I'm not relaxing, right? I'm still, I have went back to free to play for the most part now. But I'm still not letting up. I'm still grinding, right? Because, like I said, this is the town where I live. So it's I'm doing my best to retain the mayorship. So I'm going to just keep on increasing my lead as much as I can. Eventually, I'll probably venture out and buy in other areas. I only have 3 other parcels besides the 516 here. I bought one in my hometown where I used to live with my grandmother at her old house, and then I do have 2 parcels in another town where I took the mayorship. Yeah, literally two parcels got me the mayorship, right? So that tells you there's really no activity there. It's a dead area. But so yeah, guys, that's my mayorship story. How I became the mayor. Lost it, then got it back, right? And I feel pretty good about it. So for those of you who don't know, let's get out of here and go back to the main screen. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, one of the perks of being the mayor, besides bragging rights, is that whenever anyone buys a passport badge in your town, you get Atlas Earth gives you a cut of that. You get 20 Atlas bucks for every passport badge that someone buys. So hey, that's pretty cool, right? Free Atlas bucks. I like free Atlas bucks. How about you? So okay, guys, what do you think of my story of how I became the mayor, lost it, then regained it, and since then I've held on to it for 8 months. What do you think? Do you think I have a safe lead now on that guy? I will say there is an active player. Here, let's just go back real quick. I did notice, because yeah, as the mayor, I keep tabs on everybody. I look at the leaderboard often. So yeah, this person down here, that red 740, I just noticed a few days ago the compass icon by their username, so that means they just joined the Explorers Club. So it's like, all right, I guess we got another active player, and maybe they're getting serious about it. But you know, as of right now, they just have 77 parcels in the town, so I'm not really too worried about it right now. Not trying to be paranoid, but I do like to be aware, right? Aware of my surroundings and aware of what's going on. So yeah, there you go, guys. There's my Atlas Earth story of how I became the mayor, lost it, and got it back. So that's going to do it for this video. Sorry if it was too much rambling on, but Atlas Earth is an app that I've come to really love, and I truly mean that. I don't know. There's just something about it. It just hooked me. You know, I was hooked when I got going with it. Once I got the swing of it, it's like, I don't know. It's an app that's really had an effect on me. There's no other app that's affected me like Atlas Earth has. You know, I've played other apps. You know, there's other apps that I do that I make money on. And there's even some that I've made more money on than I do Atlas Earth. But, you know, there's just something about my Atlas Earth. It's kind of special. There's a magic to it, right? And I think for those of you who love the game also, you probably can relate. You know, sometimes it might seem, you know, weird to hear that. But there's just something about it, you know, buying the parcels, you know, owning that digital parcel of land, and that, you know, once you buy it, it's yours forever, or as long as Atlas Earth exists, right? And from what I can see, you know, they're a company that they're making good decisions, and I personally think they're going to be around a while, you know. But again, you know, nothing's guaranteed. You know, our life is not guaranteed, you know, right? I mean, we ourselves are not promised tomorrow. So, you know, but from what I can see though, from the game and from the people running the company, I truly believe they're going to be around for a while. I mean, I could see them be around, still being a thing 10, 20 years from now, you know. So, because from what I can see, it's really caught fire. I'm going to say the last year. And then to me, it continues to gain in popularity, right? The more people that discover it, it's like, yay, cool. Buy your neighbor's buy your neighbor's land where his house is at, and say, yeah, I own your house, dude, and I'm going to be earning rent off of that for the rest of my life. So okay, guys, I think I've rambled on enough. But yeah, leave me your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think I have a safe lead on that previous mayor? Would you relax, or would you just still keep the pedal down, keep the throttle down, and keep going and increase that lead more? Which that's actually what I'm doing. I will probably get to at least, once I get maybe to like 600 parcels, then I might think about, you know, going out into other areas and laying down some parcels there. But for right now, I'm at least wanting to get to 600. So that way, if someone comes in here and they want to take that mayorship from me, they're going to have to lay down some serious bread to take it from me, right? So I mean, if a new player if a new player wanted to come in and take the mayorship from me, I have 516 parcels of land, so they would need like over 50,000 Atlas bucks, right? So that's nothing to sneeze at. Now for a whale like Shaman 15 or Count Maximus, yeah, that might be small potatoes to them. But I'm going to say for the average player, that's a chunk, that's quite a bit. So, okay guys, that's going to do it. Leave me your thoughts in the comments below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can, and hey, let's talk about it. So, until next time, have a good one, okay? And I'll see you when I see you. But if this is your first time to the channel, tap subscribe, then the bell ding ding, so you're notified when I upload new videos. So until next time, guys, stay frosty, keep it retro, and come Lord Jesus.
We're fighters for truth, justice, and the American way.
And liftoff. We have liftoff. Challenger has cleared the tower.